In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, where endless war is the only constant, the galaxy is scarred by the actions of its defenders as much as by its foes. Among the Space Marine chapters that serve the Emperor, few are as infamous, feared, and misunderstood as the Flesh Tearers. To speak their name is to invoke visions of wrathful angels drenched in blood, heralds of salvation and annihilation in equal measure. The Flesh Tearers were born from the Blood Angels, one of the Emperor's most revered legions. They inherited the beauty and grace of Sanguinius, the angelic primarch, but also the darkness that lurked within his bloodline. The Flesh Tearers, a second founding chapter, were forged in the fires of the Horus Heresy, a time of unparalleled strife and betrayal. From the outset, the Flesh Tearers bore the burden of the red thirst, the uncontrollable craving for blood that lies dormant in all sons of Sanguinius. Yet, their plight was far worse. Their gene seed instability ensured that the Black Rage, the berserker fury born of Sanguinius death, would claim them at an alarming rate. This dual curse shaped their identity as brutal warriors, feared as much by their allies as their enemies. The Flesh Tearers are masters of close-quarters combat, their tactics centered around shock and awe. When the Flesh Tearers descend upon their prey, it is with the speed and fury of a thunderstorm. They strike with chained swords and power weapons, their battle cries shaking the hearts of the bravest foes. Their chapter is infamous for its reliance on assault marines, who embody the ferocity of their doctrines. The Flesh Tearers do not merely seek victory, they seek to annihilate their enemies. It is said that where the Flesh Tearers tread, even the soil itself becomes tainted with blood. For the Flesh Tearers, every battle is a struggle not just against the Imperium's enemies, but also against their own inner darkness. The red thirst drives them to madness, an insatiable need for blood that can only be sated in the heat of combat. The Black Rage is worse, robbing them of their sanity entirely, leaving them lost in a violent hallucination of Sanguinius death at the hands of Horus. To cope with their curse, the Flesh Tearers perform grisly rituals. They drink the blood of their fallen foes, believing it to be both penance and sustenance. They pray to their fallen primarch, begging for strength to resist the pull of madness. Yet, even these measures are often futile, as more and more of their brothers succumb to the chapter's genetic flaws. The Flesh Tearers have long struggled with their place within the Adeptus Astartes. Their violent tendencies and high attrition rates have left their numbers dangerously low. At their peak, they were a force to rival the greatest chapters. Now, they teeter on the brink of extinction, with fewer than 400 battle-ready warriors remaining. Gabriel Seth, a warrior of unmatched ferocity, leads the Flesh Tearers with an iron will. Under his leadership, the chapter has endured, though not without controversy. Seth's confrontational attitude toward Imperial authorities has earned him as many enemies within the Imperium as without. Yet, his unwavering resolve to preserve the Flesh Tearers has also won him respect, even grudging admiration. The Flesh Tearers' reputation as savages has led to strained relationships with other Imperial forces. Many Imperial Guard commanders dread their arrival, knowing that collateral damage is inevitable. Even other Space Marine chapters view them with suspicion. Yet, when the Flesh Tearers are unleashed, their effectiveness is undeniable. Despite their flaws, the Flesh Tearers remain loyal to the Imperium. Their savagery, while unsettling, has turned the tide of countless battles. They are a weapon of last resort, a blunt instrument wielded when the alternative is annihilation. The Flesh Tearers are a paradox, noble yet savage, heroic yet monstrous. Their story is one of struggle, against their enemies, their allies, and themselves. For every world they save, they leave behind a trail of devastation. For every victory they claim, the cost is measured in blood. They are the Emperor's wrath made manifest, the angelic sons of Sanguinius, twisted by their flaws. The Flesh Tearers remind us that in the Imperium of man, heroism and horror are often one and the same. And as they march into the fires of battle, they ask not for forgiveness, but for the chance to fight once more. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe. And remember, in the Emperor's name, there is no surrender.